Look, usually I give a recap. That way, if you didn't watch the last episode, you don't have to watch the last episode. I like to bring people in. You know, these episodes can be a little long, so sometimes you just gotta give a recap. That way people know what's going on. You gotta watch the last episode. Too much shit happened. I can't even. It's just unbelievable. So many twists. Twists left and right. Developments brought up in the very first game finally come to fruition. So, you're going to have to check it out. Something I will bring up is I forgot to tell the story of why Edgeworth is afraid of earthquakes. It was hinted at in the dialogue, but they never actually said it. So I'm going to tell the story here. Edgeworth was in an elevator during an earthquake, and the elevator shut down. They started running out of air, and what happened was when he fell asleep, he passed out from air loss, and when he woke up, his father had been shot in the heart in front of him, and he had no idea why it happened. And he threw a gun right before then, so he thought that he killed his father. It turned out somebody else did, who is actually Von Karma's daddy. But it's just, he has a very good reason for freaking out during that earthquake. I actually forgot he had a fear of earthquakes. So, kudos on the game for remembering more than me. But with that, no recap. We just gotta go in. February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall. Right? Is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah. The trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove them at once.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me.
What? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I came here. So, you're saying that you can undo the new... You can't undo the new locks? How did the locks even get there?
Yes.
If only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you're one to talk, with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. There's no telling what sorts of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Poor Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in a corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. You're one to talk. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. What? I'm going to stay here and see if I can help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thank you for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask a few things, Iris?
No, not at all.
We gotta figure shit out. How do I bring up that you made a promise to Edgeworth to tell me your secrets? Escape. Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake. I was so worried. I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cavern was all right, but... But what? Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the sacred cavern.
I mean... Look, if we're to assume that this isn't some sort of magic mumbo-jumbo, which, if I gotta be honest, my guess is it's magic mumbo-jumbo, the only other person besides us around this area was Godot. So...
I don't know.
You didn't miss much, Bizarro. Von Karma is gonna stay here and try to get these locks unlocked. Frickin' Edgeworth had to leave because I explained why Edgeworth freaks out in earthquakes, and he wasn't looking so good, so he had to walk outside.
Who in the world would do something like this?
Trick lock.
These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Crane tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. And you're not the one who set these locks.
I don't think it's that simple, Francesca. We were here the first time there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
But does that mean...
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open these locks. Only open the first lock.
Yes, that's correct.
What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this?
Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination, each one I could remove them. But
it would take time, won't it?
Yes. About a day if I had to guess.
A whole day?
Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure. I'll do whatever I can.
We've got to wait another day?
Hang in there, Maya. I'm gonna have to call on your inner strength now. She's been trapped in there for a while.
You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get.
And what might that be, Phoenix Wright?
I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, were you... Where were you?
Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen that night, even at the inner temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the inner temple, it's as if you were...
Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. Oh, come on! At least it's just 3. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know. We know for a fact that she was talking to Edgeworth, and she said, yeah, I used the snowmobile. And we then determined the snowmobile was used to, like, move the body. So she's involved with this somehow. I think that's all we can gather here. We can examine these. This door. When I was here earlier, there was only 1 lock. But now there's 5 of them.
Those chains. It's almost as though they were guarding something in that cavern. I've never seen locks quite like this before.
I have seen locks and chains like these. Just look at... They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psych lock. I wonder if these are guards guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. She seems to be sorry about something involving Maya. Well, honestly, she probably feels bad that she puts one of the locks on here to begin with. Alright. Let's go check on Edgeworth. February 9th, Inner Temple Gate. God fucking damn it, that glitch. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this. I can count on Iris to break those locks. So, I should try to gather more clues. Count on Iris. I can... From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, and Gumshoe. And Pearls. Alright, well... We know where Edgeworth is. Edgeworth is right here. We might as well go say hey to Edgeworth. February 9th, Inner Temple Garden. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. God fucking damn it, this... Attempt to switch controllers if this continues, ladies and gents. And I don't know where it is, so we might have to take a brief pause for me to find it if I gotta. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you evil eyes the whole time. How could I have done that? I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth. Hey! Don't you dare run away! What do you want, Wright? What do I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away! I was ready to hug it out with him. But he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. Hug him anyways! That's when you need hugs the most!
When you don't hug, when you don't want hugs, sometimes that's when you need hugs. Like right now, he's all angry because he's mad at himself. You need to show him that he matters, Phoenix. With a good old-fashioned love hug. You gotta give him the love, Phoenix. You gotta give him the love. You weren't back at the criminals... Pull yourself together, Kneale. You went back to the criminal affairs department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. The investigation. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? There's a high chance that this is the actual crime scene. You mean because of the writing in blood, and the talisman in the snow. Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely you don't suspect. Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? So, I guess you still haven't got over your fear of earthquakes. No. Though, thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives in, the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago. Okay, so they are gonna tell the story. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school. Edward found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that quake that hit the courthouse. Oh, this one. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen, and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of an earthquake. My dreams, my family, myself. It's been more than 17 years now. And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there, but... It was such a shock. I never could have imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think. So no more of this self-pity, okay? That's something you should have said, Iris. Phoenix. Edgeworth is scared. Maya is very locked up. And who knows what. Pearl is sad. Misty is dead. Phoenix is still recovering. And nobody has a motive. We're all fucked. That joke given to me by Bizarro. There was something that bothered me about her form. Her from the moment we met. I felt like I had seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look at her files? Yes. I checked over every case I've worked on, and I was right. I had seen her face before 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. And as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So who is she? I'm sorry, Phoenix. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? Piece of the puzzle. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple. And neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that confidently. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. So Phoenix knows it's her? Oh, man. I need to fill in Edgeworth. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Alright. Apparently Iris was taken in by the sisters here at... I need to check my audio, but I can't get any of my two frickin' devices to play the damn video. I hope that doesn't mean bad things. Bizarro, if you can hear me, comment 3 times. That way I can see the number appear to change 3 times. That was 1 time just now. I don't know if I should count that though. Okay, 1. Okay, that's 1. Okay, 2. That's 2. 3. Okay, Bizarro can hear me. So I'm going to assume the stream is still going. I can't see you guys, but I know you're there. And I will tell when I get everything running back up. But until then, apparently Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it. That reminds me. Edgeworth went back to the Criminal Affairs Department. I should ask him what he's found. What? I want to tell him! Do I have something to present? Could I present this? What do you think about this, Edgeworth? Sorry, Wright. You're a defense attorney, and I'm a prosecutor. It wouldn't be right for us to discuss things so intimately. But you were acting for the defense in the trial today. Alright, I guess we'll come back later. I want to go try to find Pearl. February 9th, Dusky Bridge. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. Oh, we got one up. There we go. I can see the comments again. There we go. Hot potato. Alright. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Maybe I'll find Larry. They're suckling again. Or sulking. Why did I say suckling? I want to go find Pearl. Alright. I'll go say hey to Larry. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Oh, Mito Nick! Yay! Pearls! What are you doing down here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she all right?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
What do you think you're doing here, Nick?
Larry?
This is the Loser's Shack, where losers get together and lose themselves.
This is what?
We find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with it?
Look, Mito Nick, Mito Luis did a picture of me.
That's great, Pearls.
We're going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way!
I don't believe this. Why can't he get Why is he getting fired up over becoming a better man? Oh, why can't he try getting fired up over a being better?
No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl! You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Oh, poor sweetie. Larissa's sketch. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture?
Yeah, I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now, with Pearl, two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore.
Have you just decided Pearl is your child now? That's not how that works, Larry.
Egg. What am I going to do with him?
All right, then. What do you think about this picture,
Oh, what do you think about the picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I really think it's amazing.
See? Someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
I thought it was pretty good too, man.
It's supposed to be the sister I was flying over for the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
Pearl, your wonderful fantasy is this? This is your wonderful fantasy? A burning bridge with a burning woman flying above? I mean, let's face it, we all knew she was going to become a murderer.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew. I'm telling you, Iris really flew.
But Mr. Luis?
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg you.
I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw.
Okay, so I was half asleep then. I was here that night. But I was wide awake after that lightning strike. And I saw what I saw. It's exactly what I drew in the picture.
And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value.
What's with the look on your face?
Night of the crime. Pearls,
Yeah, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing. Does it, Madonek?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Mrs. Diaxum's room, reading a book together. But Mrs. Diaxum was murdered. And you, Pearls, were you at the Inner Temple?
Ugh.
Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Miss Donek.
What? No! Ah! 5?
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
Pearl! I am legitimately about to die and cry. This poor... Oh my god. Pearl. Even you? What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power. It's disappeared.
What? Her powers are gone? Lost powers? What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey! What are you looking at me for?
Pearls? Did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Oh my god, Pearls is actually the murderer. I was right! Pearls was over there where the murder took place. Oh my god! Are they actually doing this?
Well!
Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cruel of you! Wah!
Just as I thought. I'm gonna have to break her psycholocks to get the truth out of her. Oh my god! It just keeps getting heavier and heavier. How am I supposed to lift it when it's this heavy? Oh my god. Was it actually... I don't... oh my god, I really hope it wasn't Pearls. But I think it might have been Pearls. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, I love these games. All right. Main gate. I wonder if Sister Bikini is back in the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Alright. Hey, what's this? I didn't see this before. Oh, I can't look at that. Okay, who gives a shit? Whoa! She looks scared. February 9th, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred cavern? Oh, okay. It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern. But who could have done that? The only people who know how to use those trick locks are those of the Karain tradition. We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying her best to open them right now.
Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini. Oh, yes, we were in the middle of having a chat, weren't we? Yes, you were telling me how the
Yes, you were telling me about how the master of the Kylrain disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple. Oh, we didn't tell Pearls about Misty.
It was about a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the master, she said,
Someone is trying to destroy the Kylrain tradition's main family line.
What?
I am here to put a stop to them.
Someone's trying to kill Maya. Someone was trying to destroy the family line? Also, just so people are aware, not to get a little confused here, Pearls is not part of the main family line. She is a fae, and she is technically like a cousin. She is part of the fae family line. But Maya is the next in line, and actually, like, I am telling you, Pearl's mom has to be involved with this. Because her whole thing was, oh, I'm gonna get Maya thrown in prison. That way, Pearl can become the queen.
There's only one
heir to the title of master. And at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new master of the Kylrain, and her daughters the main family. All other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family.
Hey, remember in the last case where at this point we were seducing an old man with a ghost girl, that way we could get information? Good times. Now all of our friends could be dying at any minute and we have no clue what's going on, and the world has gone to shit. Really miss those old days. Oh, who am I kidding? This is such an interesting story. Branch families always have... Okay. Shit, fuck. Is this the power of the master? Worth this much bloodshed? Kylrain channeling technique.
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Rat? You know its power is real.
Yes, I do. I've seen it. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During Mass Star to Mass case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Oh, and all those times before that. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always had a hand in help out when I need her the most. But she's not here right now. Okay. In the background, I have been trying to think of a way to justify Pearl. And I think I figured out a way. Pearl has been possessed by Mia before. So maybe what happened is Mia recognized their mom, but wasn't sure about it, so... I mean, Pearls did. Wasn't sure about it, so tried to trigger Mia. And when it didn't work, she got nervous and ran away.
The Kylrain technique has been a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to communicate with the dead. That's truly psychic power, you know. Rolled the dice. Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence,
I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now. Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Rat? You're direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore. You see? All because of one little mistake.
Mistake? What mistake?
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. The incident thing. It started with D. It was like D20 or something. D12. D and then a number. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is?
I'm sure records still exist if you're interested. DL6. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file.
The DL6 incident. I knew it. The DL6 incident. I knew it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
Shitful. That's right. So it was you. You were the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago.
It was the first time in the country's history of the police that they ever used a spirit medium.
The idea was to channel the victim's spirit
to learn the identity of the murderer. And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother. Through Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. Yanni Yogi. But that man, he was not guilty, wasn't he? That's right. He was. And the case remained a mystery. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the final turnabout in Phoenix Wright #1. That case is the main focus of the final chapter of Phoenix Wright 1. In other words, we failed. It was the first time the world had ever seen the Kylor tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, and judiciary. The people of the Kylor village, everyone judged her. Everyone said Misty's powers were a shame. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud. But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham. Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Kylor tradition is starting to recover at last. But with a new master wielding the power of the clan. Does she mean Maya? The spiritual power of the Kylor channeling technique is in the blood. Maya's told the exact same thing to me before.
the women of the Fae clan, we have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power... It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power. The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Maya. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master. And the ones who don't become branch family members, right? That's right. And it's always the cause of tragedy. Huh? You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia. Oh yes, I've heard of her. What? You know about Mia? Of course. She became a lawyer in hopes of discovering what happened to her mother. And lost her life as a result. Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition. What? Really? Well, she saw what happened with her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. Is she gonna talk about Pearl's mom? I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing the rivalry between her mom and her aunt. That's right. Misty Faye had an elder sister too. I don't remember her name, but this is Pearl's mom. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master seat from her. Mystic Misty's sister's Mystic Morgan, as you can probably know. Yeah, we've met. Morgan? There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now, at Maya's home, Karain Village. This is just the recap episode! What she did was terrible. It was also her own daughter. Could be the next master. I suppose, if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris... Huh? Iris? What the fuck does Iris have to do with any of that? That's something Phoenix asking, but that's something Kneale's asking. What? Are Pearl and Iris... What? 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 Sorry. I think my brain just died. Let's find out what she had to do with this. That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter?
What? What do you mean? So the Hawthorns are related to the... what? Wait, what? So was Morgan's last name Hawthorne? I thought her last name was Faye. What? How does Dahlia fit in any of this? What is going on? What the fuck? Okay. What? Well, I'm sorry to say it. There's motive. There's motive. She now has motive to kill both Maya and Misty. All right. My brain is coming back together. Whew. All right. That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter. What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Oops, I thought you already knew. I need something. A beer would be nice, Bizarro. I'm not a beer guy, I'm a whiskey guy. I need therapy. I need therapy. It sounded like you had met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yeah, Pearl Faye. But I always thought that she was an only child.
You jest? That child, she's Mystic Morgan's. I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master. Oh, that poor girl. Did she even know she had an older sister?
So, I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters?!
4. 4? Wait a minute.
It would have been Dahlia. It would have been the other girl who died in the last case. And it would have been Iris. 3 isn't enough. Dahlia couldn't have been adopted. They're twins. Maybe the other one was adopted. The other Hawthorne. What 3? Yes. Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearls. Okay, so it's now definitely confirmed that Dahlia is a twin sister. What?
Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mr. Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Karain's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mr. Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her and left the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. It is possible that that child who was a Hawthorne is unrelated. Like, it is possible that she was a different kid. Like, had a different mom. Maybe she's not related to the Fays. That was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable.
Then how does Iris know Phoenix? That's not possible. Iris had to be involved somehow.
If Iris had a twin sister, could it be? Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris's sister?
Phoenix, you know it's Dahlia. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearl had 2 older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mr. Morgan's anger towards the family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan. That's why she had pearls. We don't know if it's true yet, Bizarro.
If this is to be believed, does she even know she has a twin sister?
It seems that the incident here was the result of Mr. Morgan's anger. He was able to break free of the bars that confine her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens.
But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. Alright? Let's get moving. Huh? Sounds like someone's unhappy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. 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 You say that someone committed a crime. I say no. No motive, no crime. No motive, no. You can't prove that they had a reason to do so. No motive, no crime. You don't have any evidence, so your theory's as good as shit. You don't have no motive, you don't have no crime. Say it with me one more time. No motive, no crime. No motive, more crime. No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. No, for the longest time. No motive, no. Oh, no motive, no crime. Whoa, the longest, no motive, no crime. For the record, the song I was humming before was For the Longest Time. And this sort of fit in. No motive, no crime. Whoa, no motive, no motive, no crime. Instead, I improv this song, but I should have just sang it to the lyrics. That would have been funnier.
But I did do it. I did both. So I told 2 jokes.
So you better have laughed. I remember when we used to search in the channeling room in the crane. Whoop, I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating is all about. The investigators investigate for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost. Everything is done and Edgeworth is my boss. Sometimes fun karma will hit me with a whip, and then I'll get called a dipshit by the judge. And Phoenix. And Maggie. And Pearls. And Maya Faye. And everyone else who sees me that day along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. None of that was reggae, Phoenix. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight. You can't breathe in there. Hey, pal. Welcome to Musical Moments with Detective Gumshoe.
Who, me?
How long have you been there?
Long enough, Gumshoe. Long enough.
Okay.
So, what you doing?
I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon.
The real murder weapon?
That barbed sword thing turned out to be false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any of the clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though.
A letter? Yeah, the investigation. Well, so how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know why I just did Von Karma's voice a little bit. So how's the investigation going, Scruffy?
I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Fuck it. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ.
What? You mean...
I don't have the details, pal. All I know is you don't find Maya down in the Sacred Cavern, we're gonna be faced with an ugly situation.
What kind of ugly situation are we talking here?
You got me, I don't know, pal. They're not my words.
Then who said it?
Mr. Godot.
Godot? What did he mean by that? Alright. About the letter you found.
Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting my gut trying to find the murder weapon. And all I got is this burnt-up old letter.
Burnt up?
Yeah, it was in the incinerator right outside the inner temple.
Pearls would have had to do that. The incinerator? I knew it. I knew that I wasn't imagining it. There was snow on the incinerator when I saw it. After that, the incident, the snow had melted away. Which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder.
What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look.
Can I? Do you mind?
Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and master stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case.
Spirit mediums. Found my gumshoe in the inner temple. It's gotta be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. Alright, let's take a look. Be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights. Hear the lights? Oh, hear the lights out bell. You must channel her. Her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is... She is our... The whole... Here is a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this... Burn the... Also tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. What the fuck? Pearls tried to channel someone. To some degree, this letter was to her. I'd better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done littering a crime, pal. So what do you know about the real murder weapon so far?
Well, it wasn't the Shishido. That was found impaled in the victim's body.
We still don't know if Dahlia is dead, Bizarro. We keep accepting that Dahlia is dead, but as far as we know, she's still in jail.
Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today.
Yeah, that's true.
In which case, it must have been another blade.
And that's what you're running around with a headless chicken looking for now.
Yeah. Man, is it tiring work. But let me tell you, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this.
Secret weapon? What is this secret weapon of yours?
You want to know? You've got to think scientifically, okay? The murder weapon was a sword.
Swords are
Swords are scientifically speaking made of metal, right? Any questions so far?
No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart.
So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da!
A metal detector. They said that Misty had to be the one flying. It was Eloise who was flying. So maybe she possessed someone? I don't know what's going on. And maybe that's the best thing. We have to find more clues to solve this case.
Raise your hand if you didn't see... Oh, raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go?
Huh? Me?
I've been using this baby for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try?
I don't know.
Last time I had a metal detector, I put it against somebody's shoulder and then I found a bullet.
Sure, let's play.
Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you.
Alright, I guess I'll give it a go.
Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget, so be absolute best. It's so sensitive, you can make it cry. It's so high-tech, you could skydive off of it.
Oh, bother.
So now I'm gonna tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right?
Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. In fact, I would specifically like to check this one spot that I have taken my magnifying glass to every time we've been around this area, and I want to make sure that's not where it is, because I've seen something there, but it won't let me look at it with my magnifying glass.
Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. Ow, the beeping has returned! Next, move the detector around and give this courtyard a good look-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hit it. Then press the X button when that happens to give the area a good sweep. This thing picks up metallic objects so good, my dialogue's going fast. Take a good look, anything and everything. Fuck.
Right here is where I have gone every time. What's this, a pen?
Hey, I've been looking for that.
It's yours?
Yeah. My old man gave it to me when I was qualified as a detective. He told me it'd be good for sticking in suspects' faces.
Oh, Gumshoe broke the fourth wall? I didn't even read it. That makes you detective sound really nasty.
It's my dream to stick it in your face one day, Wright.
And don't go losing it. Looks like there's something round buried under the ground here.
Don't touch it, pal.
Huh? What is it?
It could be a landmine. It's a trap. People set them to catch us detectives. They're real nasty.
A trap for detectives? You mean like those fierce traps with sharp teeth that snap on your leg? You mean bear traps?
Yeah, those! I got my finger caught in one of those.
Your finger?
There was a bit of cheese and it looked so tasty and I reached down and then BAM!
I'm not sure I know how to respond to this story of stupidly pitiful. Alright. I mean, obviously the statue. This looks like a wallet.
Oh! There's where it's been!
Are we just fighting your shit for you?
It's yours.
Is it yours, detective?
I'm always dropping it, so I put a bell on it.
But you still dropped it anyway.
Yeah, but now I found it again, pal.
Your wallet is completely empty.
Well, I drop it all the time, so I don't put money in it anymore.
Oh, yeah, he always says X button. They've always referred to buttons like that. Then how come the metal detector picked it up?
Because of the belt on it, I guess.
There's a bell? Alright. Well, wait. Yep, there's someone right here near the staff. This is Miss Diaxum's staff, wasn't it?
Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood.
But the detector is reacting. You gotta look underneath of it, Phoenix. Maybe there's something buried in the snow.
Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, right? Don't bother investigating anything else. It looks like it might be metallic.
Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it?
It's weird that this thing is causing a racket.
Here, let me take a look at it.
Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the...
Crack. Jack! The top came off!
Whoa, look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence!
Ah!
Oh, fuck! That's a...
That's a sword.
Inside the staff?
Misty had a sword on her? So this could be it.
The murder weapon?
But it was hers! And there's no blood on it. I never would have guessed there'd be a concealed sword in the victim's staff.
They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal.
Yeah, I know. I owned one for a little while, Gumshoe. And I still own a cane, which is a prop from Harry Potter, that has a wand in it. So, yeah.
This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed their own foot.
I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. Yeah, we've reached that point, haven't we? If the real scene of the crime was the inner temple, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Because that's where they dumped the body. Hey, Gumshoe. Who knows about the hidden sword?
No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now.
Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it.
And I guess it isn't the murder weapon, huh?
No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder.
Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal.
I don't know, man. It's about the same length of the Hishido, too. This weapon must be the murder weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's gotta be traces of blood left on it, even if the blood's been wiped off. See you later, pal. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight.
Wait up, detective.
Oh, what is it, pal? Pretty busy guy right now, you know.
You're gonna get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off just a while?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Please. Just until we find Maya.
Maya? What's this got to do with her?
I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Oh, how so?
Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and... well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel.
You don't think? Maya's been murdered!
No, please, detective. let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern.
You're looking kind of viridian, pal. Okay. Okay, just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. This staff's secret trick, let's keep that between us. Alright? If it gets out that we knew about it, and they say anything, we're finished.
I understand.
This is just a regular run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay. Now you take good care of it, pal.
Thank you, Detective Gumshoe.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
Gumshoe?
You know there's a place at the base of the mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal?
Sure. Thanks. Victim staff proceed to the court record. Victim staff has a sword hidden inside. No one knows except me and Detective Gumshoe. And it's probably not a good idea to tell Edgy. I can't help but wonder, though. What else? What was Eloise Diaxon doing with a staff like this in the first place? That's where my mind has been this entire dialogue. Why the fuck did she have a sword? What was she scared about? Thanks, Gumshoe. Time to head out. Well... let's go check up on everybody. We have enough information to bring up to Edgeworth where we can be like, hey, we know what's going on with Dahlia, bro. Let's go to him and then we'll try breaking the psych lock with Pearl. Okay. Hey! Look at my thing! Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. I was just making sure I wasn't muted. Good. Sister Bikini told me, but... the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think.
A jeweler?
Right? I just might know who the twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth, please. It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You can't blame yourself for that. You're talking about Terry Fowles, right? Shit. You know about that case. You're not the only one who noticed about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Maya's old files from 6 years ago. Mia's. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Fowles conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. So maybe we'll learn about this. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. Okay. Yep. Okay, Bizarro was right. They weren't blood-related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. And this is when she entered my life? Wait a minute. Second wife. But at the time, Dahlia was 14 and the sister was older. Second wife? That doesn't make sense. Alright, whatever. And this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. Tell Edgeworth. So after Terry Fowles died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that and smiling so menacingly? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead! Okay, well, fuck! Now we know the spirit's involved! All the pieces. All the pieces. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean that by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved with during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. At the time, Dahlia knows something. It's been almost 5 years since the guilty verdict was handed down. After her sentence was carried out, she was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you. Right, and for some reason... But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected to this case. She's dead. And once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. You don't seem so sure, Edgeworth. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. It seems you're not aware of the other connection yet, Edgeworth. And that is what? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's that mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Kylor channeling technique. Did you say Kylor channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium.
Fraudulent?
It was I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. God, it all goes back to DL6. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. A medium, and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers were fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file, and you'll know. Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the grain channeling technique is real. Can I show him this letter? What do you think about this, Edgeworth? Well... What? Everything is connecting! They have, like, perfectly tied all the games together. This is nuts! Alright. Hey, lady. How you doing?
Take that!
We got a lot of info today. The night of the crime. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth?
Yes. That's where I was.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. Bikini?
Take that!
I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini.
Her testimony in court today was very clear. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Sister Bikini didn't just see you. She spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The Acolyte's actually training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So, I would have left at about 9:40, I think.
I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
What?
Now you say you left the main hall at 9:40, but what you say doesn't add up with this. This.
Take that!
You yourself testified to contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock.
And also, we ran into... Yeah, plus only moments before the bell rang.
You were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright? We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right, I remember.
One left.
And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. And I think I know what the answer's gonna be. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the time. It's time you told me exactly what's going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the Inner Temple. Second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. You were at Hazakura Temple. You were at the Inner Temple. There were 2 of you.
Maybe she's not dead. Maybe we're just going nuts with this. Maybe she escaped death and has been posing as her. Olsen twin style.
On the night of the incident. Or maybe she didn't possess... Oh God. Maybe I was right about Pearl. Maybe she didn't possess Iris, but possessed one of the Fae girls. Oh my God. What if Maya did commit the murder? Or Pearl? On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. Which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. It's impossible. Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise. You're seriously trying to suggest that there was more than one of me? Then show evidence. Show me something that proves there is more than one of me. Sorry, honey.
Take that!
I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? Yeah. That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne. A woman I know only too well. I had no idea you knew her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. Wait a minute. What? If Iris had no idea that Phoenix knew Dahlia, how did this relationship happen? The only way a relationship like that could have worked is if Dahlia was in on it. Like Iris and Dahlia were both in on it. But clearly that's not the case. But she's no longer... Yeah, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Thank you. There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder, it was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. But you just said it yourself. My sister is dead. Have you forgotten that? Are we doing all of this in front of Von Karma? Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo. A training ground of the Quacktrain channeling technique.
Shit, fuck.
That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit. And you knew about it. And that's what the secret you've been trying to hide from me is.
Ah!
Here we go. I was in my room,
In the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. That was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before? But who did she possess? Pearls knew it wasn't her, so who? It wasn't... Oh, please tell me that Maya isn't actually the killer.
Because
Are we gonna find Maya and she's covered in blood, but it's not her blood, it's someone else's blood?
because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me, bitch.
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What's she talking about? Betrayal.
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago?
Shit, fuck.
That was the start of it all. It's what started her down this twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime. And in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange took place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million
From your own father? That's awful. But I promised that I'd help. And
she was just 14.
she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? Revenge?
What do you mean by revenge? He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell.
Her mother. She must be talking about Morgan.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of Family Faye. The main family had a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at that time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of what that as the master. That's the reason our father married our mother. In the first place, it was for power. But this plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over the Master of the Grain. That would be Misty Faye, Maya's mother. But before long, the credibility of the Korean tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Misty Faye, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. Sweet merciful God, how did they tie all these games together? It's such a neat bow. This really feels like one story now. After all that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our family behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive, and that he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came to Hazakura Temple.
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie.
Oh, okay.
I had no place in his new family, you see.
Oh?
And I haven't seen my mother ever since. Having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. I've heard she's been very battered spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit.
I've asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it, goes back to the history of the Fae clan.
That's what it looks like. And now Von Karma knows everything. Iris, there's just one more thing you have to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to find the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Ah! Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for sure, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock.
Oh, Pearl! I'm not ready!
Pearl Psych Lock. I'm not ready!
Pearl is the last connection to this family. If she is involved, I'm going to burst into tears, man. Okay, here we go.
February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick.
You're too late, Nick. If you cared for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off.
I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. Here we go. I am much more emotional right now than I should be.
Take that!
5! The night of the crime. Oh, jeez. Here it goes. Whew, okay, ooh.
I got this. After dinner that night of the murder... Am I audible? Kneale, 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 Kneale. Kneale, Kneale, Kneale. Yep, I'm still audible. I will be strong, Bizarro. I will be strong. Although I will say this. You have yet to hear a Kneale cry. Today might be the day.
I am legitimately very emotional.
After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Eloise Diaxum's room reading a book together, correct?
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me.
Oh, you're too cute to be a crime accessory!
But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead.
Huh. I was so worried. I had to go.
I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
Okay, I had to check the audio again, sorry. So Pearls never went to Miss Daxium's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? Well, fucking rip off the Band-Aid.
Take that!
You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not opening up. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you worried about? Now I'm gonna take a guess. And you can tell me if I'm wrong.
You mean you know?
It had to be Maya, right? If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Oh, okay.
You went to this place for the simple reason, and that is this.
Take that!
It's obvious that you were so worried about what you were so worried about, Pearls. It's Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for the special course.
Well, well, well. My. Quite a brave of you, considering how cold it is. I'm just getting all my joy out through bikini. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one of those who you channel. Laughing.
Back to the shit. Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place. You felt responsible, didn't you? Maybe Pearl did put the locks there. That way Dahlia couldn't possess Maya.
Thinking about that, what could have happened to Mystic Maya, made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go find out what she was doing in the inner temple.
Then we're clear now. that you went to the inner temple, right, Pearls? What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:40 when I left the main hall. I heard the wheel training was supposed to start at 12. I wanted to go there before it started. But there was so much snow. I didn't get there until 10 o'clock.
After 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell. The Hazakura Temple bell's pretty small, though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up on the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She's trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls. Were you worried about... Why were you worried about the bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why, the reason you were so worried about the bell. It's because of this. I don't want to do this! But I'm pretty sure it's this letter, right? I remember it mentioning the bell somewhere. Yeah, as soon as you hear the lights out bell.
Take that!
You were given some instructions to follow that night, weren't you?
by who, though?
I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Where did you...
In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls. You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
Don't do that cute face I love, Pearls. You're hurting me. Bizarre it could be. I'm not going to say that because I think it might be a spoiler actually, but I think you're right. These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? I know.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. Wait! Pearl can't read! Someone read them to her! But the last section is clearly illegible. Oh, fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you channeling? Taking into the account that the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious whose Pearls was supposed to channel. The person who you were supposed to channel was...
Take that!
It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. And it was Pearl. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? I guessed this so long ago, but it hurts so bad.
Do you know what kind of woman Dahlia was? No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading these instructions.
She's your sister, honey. Oh my god.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue.
She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls.
Who wrote them?
Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So my next question... Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why.
How did you...
I figured it out. The person who wrote the letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Alright, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me. Just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There is no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it!
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made the simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions, but you misunderstood some of the words. And this is the evidence that proves it. Be careful. Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Gaverly Roast. I understand. For those of you who didn't catch it, gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. The master is referring to the picture of Misty. Gravely roast, I assume, means fire. But Pearl didn't read fire. Pearl read gravy. And that's so adorable and so fucking sad.
Take that!
It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it? It's so cute.
Yeah. Why would I do something like...
Do you remember what was written in the letter? Gravely roast the master in the flames of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But Pearl can't read. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast, among other things.
How do you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Daxam on the night of the murder? Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Eloise. So, for example, how do you read this?
It says gravelly. That's kind of a tough word. Sure, Miss Daxam taught you how to read gravelly and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant. Gravelly sounded like gravy.
Gravelly sounded like gravy to me. And the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy. From that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother asked me to. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
Oh, poor baby. Oh, poor girl. Oh, Jesus. The night of the crime. Well, I want two things. I want to hug this girl and make sure she knows that everything is okay. But I can't do that. So I guess I gotta get the other thing I want. I want answers.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple. With a pot full of leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the master of the Quain, like it said in the letter.
She doesn't know that they're her sisters yet.
I see.
And then...
Well, it was only a matter of time when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yeah, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go into the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then,
Girls? Did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry! I didn't mean to, I just couldn't help it! Hey, don't worry about it, Pearls. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fall asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway,
then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple.
Yeah. When I woke up, it was morning, and I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter in the incinerator, and then I heated up the leftover gravy, and
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll. You should have ate that. You were trapped there all day. You should have ate it. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearls.
I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too.
Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. Lost powers. It was written right in my mother's letter. It said as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell. So I channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you once, just like that.
So she never managed to channel the spirit. Well, Bizarro, if she didn't do it, that means Maya did. So, at least it wasn't Pearl, but, it was Maya. Is that why you think your spirit powers are gone?
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
I think I know what it is. If that spirit was already possessing somebody else. Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else was
Already channeling the same spirit? Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken.
Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yeah, this weather. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure to follow the instructions carefully.
This letter? I definitely need to find out more about it. Is her mom dead?
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month. And yes, once she told me.
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. I really wish I wouldn't have given her this voice now, because this is like a really fucking serious moment. But this is the voice I gave her, so fuck it, continuity. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for good of the Fae Clan.
My angel. She'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. My mother was always nice to me. I love her very much.
Pearl, I love you very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fae Clan, so I knew I had to help her.
I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the fake clan. So it had to be good for her too, right? That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
Oh, fuck, Pearl. I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her there too.
A picture?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually, a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time, pretty weird, huh?
Like Larry knows anything about this shit. Bizarro, they all wear weird clothing. There was a guy who wore all pink, had no undershirt, and like he had his abs exposed in prison with very long, majestic pink hair. I'm just saying, none of these costumes were made with prison in mind.
There's something else that's strange about my mother's shadow. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before. That sure is pretty strange.
Somebody else saw the letter first? Someone had opened it already. Burnt letter added to the court record. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Looks like that innocent smile. Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Oh, it's him. Finally figured it out, have you, Wright? You finally realized how terrible of a crime is being painfully oblivious is. Go! The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. But why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know that! What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It's your job to protect her, Wright. Or at least it was. Just like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters, caught in the worst circumstances. I realize that, but... And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know what was going on. What did I just say, Wright? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Shit, fuck. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court. Tomorrow. Once and for all.
Mr. Nick? Is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
Oh, Pearls, I hope we're right. My dear Pearls. You've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. No.
Finally, after all this time, the master seat is yours. My last great wish, it seems. I was just in time.
Wow! Whoa, hey. I want to keep playing, but I know I'll be up all night if I do. So, sweet, merciful Jesus. Everybody, thank you for being in my jury, and tomorrow we might just finish the Phoenix Wright trilogy. No promises, but we'll just have to see. Ciao.